And welcome back, folks, to our playthrough of Disco Elysium, brought to us by Yashabe. Thank you for supporting the channel. And last time we played, these are our stats, by the way, if you wanted to know. 3, 3, 4, and 3. Pretty average. Last time we played, we threw a bull into the river, into the sea. We gotta find the murder weapon. We gotta find race theory. Gotta get 2 signatures from across the coast, which we can't do because the road is blocked. And we can't do that. So, pretty much free to do whatever we want for a few hours. We do have the money for another night at the hotel. We could go around, pick up some cans if we wanted to, get a bit of money off of that. Like I said, we're pretty free right now.
The door is closed. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it.
No. No.
The murmur in your ears recedes slowly.
There's not much to do here, though. Well, we could wait, but probably more interesting things to do. Now, what area have we not discovered? Sleeping dock worker. Go talk to Joyce. Maybe we can get some answers.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
You know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you do know something.
Better not tie the forestay to the batstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with. On the contrary, officer. There are yet camioners you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, it would be strange if Wild Pines didn't have eyes on the harbor.
They must have someone in an overlooked position near the gates.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
How's it going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait. She just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Do you mean John Luke, my race mentor? He's a great teacher. I don't know about that one. Sure, let's go with that. I'm curious.
Oh, so you've met him. Has he beguiled you with his inane theories?
What do you mean, beguiled? Yes, through Wonder Bar. He didn't do anything. It was the indisputable truth of his theories. Well, let's go one.
Charmed, enchanted, put under his spell. They're nonsense. A load of tripe. But we were on the subject of the talks, I believe.
So the strike is connected to the lynching.
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
She's resolute in this, yet you sense that she wants to tell you. You'll have to earn her trust first.
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
How long have you been here?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. The union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay, then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are the demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Seems like they have no idea about business. I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Ogre? Over-aggressive commie posturing. Forget it. I wanted to ask about something else. Oh yeah, we're a commie.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Scabs at the gate, did you put him there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
No, I mean scabs. Let's call them strike breakers. You put them there, right? You're right. I don't know what got into me. Some of that degenerate dock worker lingo has rubbed off, it seems.
If these strike breakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. That's Everard, all right. He's not that bad. 2.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there's 2 of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
The ultimate plan.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
An effective advocate for the rights of local working men. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. Report. The diplomat. The ever-diplomat. One.
Why do you think so?
Between Everard, the human leech, and Measurehead, this union sounds like a motley crew. I'm into it. Wink. Sounds like they're all Revachol, and I'm all Revachol too. To hell with the rest. The good labor man can't fault them for a little corruption. The wink sells it.
Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. They're an interesting composition, albeit vile. But enough about Everard. What else can I do for you?
One more thing, you said something happened during the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
Her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was the point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him. Of course. How else can I help?
I talked to Claire.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally. Time to choose sides.
Oh boy. I didn't. He's a beautiful man. Beautiful and just. Everard Clare is the hero of the workers' movement. He's the champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable. He is not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. Freaking Freeport. Oh my god, you guys gotta get, gotta get a decision in. It's too many numbers. The only one, yeah, well, that's true. I saw 2 6s though. Oh!
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
That's too late.
I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like passing some information, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Well, Golden, you get to decide this one then, since your curry went into oblivion. Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun. I helped him turn the heat on the Borch. He asked me to open a door. He asked me to deliver an envelope. What do we go for? I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. 2.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making?
The cook makes it to keep the strikers drunk. Helps them strike.
The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
Yes.
Why, if I may ask? Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
An act born of sympathy for the working man, I set fire to the fumes of struggle. I worship Al Ghul in many ways. It's uninteresting. I thought it would make the broth taste better. Well, we're into Al Ghul.
Very curious. A very curious thing to do. What else?
Oh. Do we keep snitching? But as we know, as the proverb goes, snitches get stitches, so let's be careful here.
Oh. That's so helpful of him. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any leads on that gun?
Everard says it's almost ready to be found soon.
Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you.
What?
Anyway, was there anything else you've heard?
Impossible. So do we keep snitching? Snitch.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
No, I mean a real door.
Oh my. A real door.
I helped scare someone for Mr. Clare.
My. What I'm hearing is you inspected a premises because you suspected that it was involved in the narcotics trade. And In the process, you turned up some information relevant to your investigation. Only from Everard, surprisingly.
The Union's militant wing organized the lynching. Everard says the Wild Pines sent mercenaries after the Union, and now one's dead. Everard asks the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation. He didn't seem all that worried about the whole conflict that's developing. Ask her for $5 first. $4.
I wouldn't have taken Everard for a saber rattler. Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress?
We were alone, and he seems very sure of his ability to keep things in control. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. I think he wants things to escalate. You're right, he was probably just showing off to me. 1.
Or he wants you and me to believe he's calm and in control. He's a politician.
Maybe he was manipulating me. No, I'm pretty sure I'm reading it correctly. Ooh. Ooh.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this information to me.
I'm spam locked for 1. Just write 1 in letters. In fact, that would be better for me, because then I would know, like, okay, this is for this. We're done snitching, right?
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating. Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Got more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Go with 58%.
6 kilometers southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
Revachol Citizens Militia?
Preciso mundo.
And what is the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Still can't believe you won the role. It was like 3% too.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
However, we lost 2 rolls of 95, so it's it goes either way.
Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are to me is the police, the only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to help.
Oh, 83%?
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough. There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. Elysium.
Wait a minute. Title drop?
It does. There are those who would call it hell. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
Don't have the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
How about it's a ball?
That's looking less and less likely, Detective. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait, what are you telling me? Pale? What do you mean, corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Fractured corona doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Oh! Title drop! Well, if you say it's disco.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass. Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we've discovered 7.
This may be Star Trek.
Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear. Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or any thing in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it here?
No, detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working.
Numbers stop
No one
working?
has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible. Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
Ow.
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
It sounds pretty familiar to our symptoms, doesn't it?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
The lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the pal driver about this. See what she says. That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Oh. Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
What is entropometic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study
Netic.
of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain. There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entroponetic changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end, if we throw them precisely.
And if we don't?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping?
What do you think, Detective?
It's growing.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate.
Uh-oh.
An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
Cover everything? That can't be. Where would we go?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild Pale yonder.
One and all. They say Pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Back to reality.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Sometimes I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's terrifying. You were right, it's disco. It will end all life. If we continue to persist at all, is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with the immediate, total, ruthless what? Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. The powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say. It doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you've survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think of anything of it? 2222.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by, I promise. Yes, I'm in serious trouble here. It will be a disaster, I know it. All those people will die. Or 4.
Steel yourself, officer. Your colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, he is competent. I checked up on him. And you also have me. I will try to assist you in any way I can.
Some of that assurance is meant for herself.
Even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
That's all for now. Talk to Joyce about the Pale without Kim. Oh, we got a secret task complete. Ooh.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Bankruptcy sequence. It's easy. You just need to move on. Like a plague of locusts. Like a fucking plague. Failure is a core tenet of liberalism. When life closes a door, it opens a window. And if the fall is too steep, use the fire exit. Run to the roof. You always have that airship on the dock. The most important thing is to keep moving. Keep dreaming. The auditors cannot get to you if you keep running. Very, very fast. From one fuck-up to the next.
White check failures give +1 real. Hey, that's pretty good. Let's get another one. And another one. Alright. We have some kind of superstar, indirect modes of taxations, advanced race theory, or the Jamrock Shuffle. Race theory, race theory. Oh boy. I'm starting to wonder about you guys. I'm gonna have Twitch investigate this chat. Oh, hey, Mike. Talking about investigations. How you doing? Oh, Big Famous is here. The bench.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
Get up. Oh yeah, let's talk to the lady. I'm good, how's your day? I got mad at Star Trek earlier.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
I still don't really understand this whole Boyadero thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
What's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
And they live happily ever after.
Don't be stupid. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man, one night. As he and his beloved are out walking along the river Margaret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
So he gives up his riding and settles down, right?
No. The Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Margaret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
It's a beautiful song.
The most beautiful. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero.
Before I came, he seemed away.
What do you mean?
You were in a dream, inactive, turned off, tuned off.
Yes? What about it?
The routes you travel are unusual, aren't they?
Some of them. Some of them are like home to me now. I would say the routes I drive are usual to me.
What routes?
Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. where the bluebirds fly.
I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself. Cool. Ride until you dust, sister. Duster.
Irmão, I already am dust.
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a pail driver. You transport goods through the pail.
Oh meu Deus. The lawman solved the case.
Oh, we solved the case. All right. Guess we're done with the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. No, it's not the case.
And here I was, thinking you were an idiot. So, are you? An idiot, I mean?
I blacked out after a night of heavy drinking and lost all my memory of the world. I blacked out from sheer heartbreak, and I've lost all memory of the world. I'm not an idiot. I'm a detective or the RCM. Don't say I'm an idiot. One, or is it 2? I'm feeling 2 though. 1.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Pergunte a Poeira. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything. Even things I never knew.
Things you never knew?
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Over radiation?
Heroic doses, Harifia. Heroic.
Isn't that dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this? What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it look like, the Pale?
Like looking into the ocean at night, in the dark.
And?
You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it.
How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the sail windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
Not on this lorry then.
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
The wheels all small and round. Multi-axle trailers.
One last thing, you said we can just become vapor?
Yes.
I feel I already have what you have in some way. I would rather have what I have than what you have. I would rather have what you have than what I have. I feel 3.
They say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale.
Interesting.
Maybe you've been down the motorway south? It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not pale drivers. Way beyond the established spell that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
What's at the end?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake.
Ma'am?
Josiane.
There is nothing more to do now. She's far away.
We need to get that thought. Okay. Well, we get a level. Interesting. Wouldn't you say? Oh, wait a minute. Coins here. Oh, yeah.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Who are all of these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Head measurer?
Yeah? That giant up there, on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Won't let the workers by. The access panel is right behind him.
How bad could one guy be?
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Why don't you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
What are you gonna do?
Wait! They might go home eventually, or get drunk. Leave the access panel unguarded, or the company sends someone to reason with them. Unexpected situation, but we hold the pressure on until someone makes a mistake. Then it's our time. We strike.
Or statue check. Oh, we can go check. I think we did check it out with Kim. No, we didn't get it. Did spike the Vorks, right? Yeah, we did.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
We haven't analyzed our race critical theory. Or critical race theory.
Hello, compatriot. You have something to discuss?
Woody Holland.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some apples. Yeah, apple?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest. You were...
Like, there's no other guy we need to talk to, right? You said we haven't talked to all the lorries, but...
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
I feel like we did.
There are clothes inside. Cheap.
Don't be shy. These are premium class.
How about some premium class service over here? Like paying with net worth. Go over and ask him if you can do that. You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra series.
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Speaking of luxury, you should go over and ask about paying for those sneakers with your net worth. A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper and a silver-lined midsole. Dedicated, victorious, sporty. These found sneakers are a must-have for a track and field legend.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
50 bucks.
Only? That's madness.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Where are you from?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
But you're not local, are you?
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
What's it called that?
Yes, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma used to grow them. But Sigai is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Sigai.
Helping out his grandma. Well, we're assuming. He could also be lying. Is there anything we can do? We talked to everyone. Yeah, everyone I can think of at least. Let's go see the scab leader.
Right to work!
There's a
When a
strike.
bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
Okay.
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs.
Serious abs.
Tight-fitting shirt. This man is in shape. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting.
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You're wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Interesting. Very sus. Very. He could be a mercenary.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Talked to that guy already. Yeah, there's not much left to do now.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Can we keep this reading shorter?
Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
Where is everyone?
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
No one's working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
Oh? Got in trouble.
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
Keep talking.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Evrard telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
What did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Okay, Leo, let's hear about this fight you got into.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me. You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Evrard and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everard. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here.
You're never getting anything useful out of him. It's good enough you found out Everard has a brother called Edgar, and he helped Leo.
When is Kim coming back? He should be back tomorrow or tonight. That's right. Haven't found that bull. Where'd you got a brother?
Mr. Dubois, every worker... To hell with it. Every worker is white. Now, what can I do for you today?
Excuse me? Want to go over a couple things.
Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on Most certainly, Harry. Nothing bright by all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
Okay, nothing interesting. Well. Well. Now I have no idea what to do. Except for wasting time. Sleeping dock worker. I don't know where he is. Map wall. I don't know where the sleeping dock worker is. I don't know where anything is. Yeah, we do, but we checked all the streets that are rusty. We're waiting for tomorrow where they're gonna open the gates. Did you talk to the granny at the hotel? I think so. Looking for her husband. Haven't checked the door. What money? Money upstairs, but I don't know how to get there. On the rooftop. I don't think we can fish out the bull.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Do it.
Because
oh, we
this
got
is
it?
no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. O Wallfather.
I must paint this wall, add to it, get task.
Absolutely. Now you just need the materials. Yes, do that. The wall will be waiting.
We're gonna get some paint. Where are we gonna get some paint? Oh, the lady up top, yeah. Starting to think this character's crazy. I mean, chat's controlling him, so... yeah. Wait a minute. Got a coat? How do we get up there? Low on health? Put points in endurance. Hey, I'm looking for some paint.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Officers, I'm alone. That bed in the coal room yours? I need some paint and your brush.
What for?
For art. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about?
Kind of art? I haven't thought of anything yet, but I'm sure I will. Everything is sad and shit. We need art to make it okay. Just give me the brush. Grand art. Art deluxe. Deluxe. The artsiest. The most groundbreaking. The... 2?
Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience.
You'll see. You'll all see and tremble.
Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Everything really.
That bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Does she have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all. Shoot, Piggy.
All right.
It's what you do, isn't it?
Let's do it. 3%. Ugh. Self-portrait from the inside.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo.
Just give me the paint and brush. I need to do some art.
You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead then. art it up. Just try not to hurt yourself. And no self-portraits.
Nice.
Oh, but I'm all out of fuel oil.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil.
Hello. Can I just use paint?
Are you kidding me? Fuel oil is so much cooler. No way you're disfiguring that beautiful wall with something as pedestrian as ordinary paint.
Catch you later. Alright, all we need is fuel oil. How hard could it be, right?
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Rub your sides.
A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Her face
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
What did success give you? We didn't get success. We failed.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room.
Are we imagining what would happen in here?
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
Is there a hole in the wall?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
That's all. Bye-bye. The loot is gone. Was there someone we wanted to talk to? After 9 o'clock, okay. Our badge. No. No, you can't see what it'll give you. That's the brush. So it's too good. Well, I guess we could kill an hour. Nothing here we can talk about.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime.
We could. Wait, there's something here.
A rusting control panel with loose wires dangling out from the hole where an indicator light used to be, and a mechanical lever sitting in the middle. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. Pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
Push it harder. Release the lever.
A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
That's right. We're just messing around. Who has the car? Yep. Got that for the tape player. We got no tapes to play. Do a sick jump across. Yeah, sure, why not? Slide on the cables. You know what?
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
You lied to me. You're not a gardener.
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
She lied to us.
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
There's a role in all of this.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
What if I want to talk to you?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
Why are you so aggressive?
I am being aggressive? Listen, you moral and unlucky. You are part of a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you are their bodyguard.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
The world needs a financial buffer zone. No need to get emotional. The privatization is not unlawful. It's cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individuals. I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong, unlike you socialists. I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the Union's plans? This sounds like freaking Deus Ex. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
We'll talk to Titus then.
This is where you say your bit.
Don't say anything yet.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
We need to talk about the man hanged out in the back. One.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
First, we need to talk about your attitude. We need to talk about the man hanged out in the back.
You hear that, boys? Looks like the RCM sent us a big dick cop.
Uh-oh. Talking about us.
You don't get to tell me what to do.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. A symmetric burn on his neck, resembling the letters Loss Loss. Has he tried to burn it off? Leave that life behind? And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important.
And the little guy?
Size 41. With the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face. Mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Fat Angus.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is missing. The odd soul?
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Found 8 set of footprints. There's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Oh, we can't be a Hardy boy.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her. She So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
Sorry, boss.
Man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. A real looker, that one. Stinks like shit, too.
They love him, boss. Spend all day digging around in there. Can't get enough of that pretty boy smell.
Evidence. Show them you have it. It doesn't have to be conclusive.
Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck? Hit him hard. Your boot prints? Or show them you're not to be messed with 4. No, that sounds terrible. I look like a psycho. 2 or 3 would be appropriate. 4? Okay.
That is fucking bizarre. A magic man. A goddamn magician.
Said communism killed him. Said love did kill him. The cult vision was too confusing.
Well, what you chatting me up for then? Go arrest communism before it skips town.
Yeah! Go arrest communism!
You had something other than the bizarre vision too, right? You better have something, because this didn't work.
Oh, is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yeah, why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him.
As he speaks, his fists contract, going through the pulling motion again, savoring it.
We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
But there's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
And how does the bullet in his head factor in?
Huh? How the fuck do I know? Anyone could have shot him. Target practice, maybe.
This line of questioning is over. You got the cause of death already? Hanging. If there's any post-mortem trauma, it's your problem. This will not turn into a cross-examination.
Elizabeth, you... How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck. Until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
No signs of struggle. How do you explain that?
Look. I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
And something ain't right here.
That definitely caught him off guard. In comes number 2 to take care of it.
Yeah, I knock him out.
came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
What did you use to knock the victim out? Yeah, who are they covering for?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Where did the action take place?
Right fucking here. The fucker started coming to our bar, asking for it.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
who's cracking under the pressure?
a single sentence would wear him out. He can't take the length of the questioning. Keep it going long enough, and he'll crack.
No. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
Something you're not telling me.
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder.
Right.
Not yet.
Like what, Copper?
Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys.
Elizabeth.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than the others.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not for the officer making an arrest. Which we all know you won't be. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
But they don't want you back at the station, do they?
When did this hanging incident occur? Or we can go with you murdered him, no remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
Yes, but these were all bad people. Criminals. The scum of the earth. Look, I'm just doing my job. What I do is different. I enforce the laws. You just kill people like it's nothing. Honestly, I drink so much I can't remember anyone I've sent behind bars.
Doesn't remember them. He just forgets. Are you hearing this, Titus?
Ain't no use keeping a stiff catalog in your head. That's for sure.
When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night.
How long have you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town.
Joyce, the negotiator for Wild Pines.
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive.
He was a mercenary.
In my town. And He stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoi and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces or right, but did he actually do wrong? Ooh, this is a good question. Which one do we take?
Cause one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
Cool. Really? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
There's a slight unease in him, suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
Grab someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming, "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
But who? Did he rape then? A very serious allegation.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
Despite the stonewalling, you can slip one more question in.
One last time.
Titus, do not answer. You have been forthcoming enough.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her too. She doesn't need more embarrassment.
I need to talk to the victim.
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough of explaining myself to you fucks. He's dead. It's done.
As you can see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but...
It won't be for long, she means. It's true. She was the only thing holding him back.
What are we gonna do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. You should go back to Jamrock, to your station, where you belong.
Yes. Run home. Lonely. Rent a cop. Real law officials are done with you. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equal.
We never talked. You promised you'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy. And now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Very mature guys. Everett sent word, right? Why don't you push me some more and find out? I would never tell on someone. Let's change the subject. Full rank.
Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys, Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
We could get better if we asked for more. I haven't explained the bullet I found.
You still on about that bullet? A bullet in a hangman's head. You're right, Copper. That is mighty curious.
You hanged him. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads. I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
We could show them the bullet, but this might be not a good idea. I think the hanging was a cover-up for the shooting. Did you guys shoot him? 111, okay.
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
I think the hanging was a cover-up for the shooting.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
That's pretty impressive.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
Why'd you guys shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
Yeah, we didn't trap him before he was hanged.
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
It's not like you blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there somewhere.
Let's try it. 28.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Have I seen this before?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
I get it. You guys really are the authority around here.
Huh?
Must be. It's just like real cops, drinking beer, sitting around with your in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
No, I'm drunk on the job too. I don't give. No, I'm drunk on the job too. I don't give a. Just like you guys. No, I'm also a fan of beer and jerking off instead of helping people. I have a beer problem, but that's not a problem with beer. I also have no idea how to do my job like you. One. Okay.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Actually, the graffitio isn't quite off yet, is it? What are you talking about? Don't say that. This is no time to nitpick.
Congratulations. All I can see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push, quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Someone's been raped. She needs counseling. We need to talk to her. It's not about who did it. It's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect.
We won him over.
If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What's her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. Remember what you said to her? You told her you want to have.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Said you don't remember being a cop. Said you don't remember reality. Said I want to have with you. Said you're a sorry cop. Ooh. Alright, let's try it.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
Uh-oh.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Whatever you do, do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
Thank you. I'll go talk to her. Or what is your relationship with her? No, not four. Not four. That would be bad. When was that?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
Timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
And what's your relationship with her?
I know her.
Okay, cool. How well, though?
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
Not from around here?
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
We got him.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it. And what was up with the partying she and Titus did? It sounded fun.
Electrochemistry. Said you party, but what do you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Was it sex? Drugs? Did you do karaoke? Sex, drugs, and karaoke, right?
Yeah, tons of it. All the songs.
You're saying the two of you were close.
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now.
Thank you. I'll go talk to her. What was her relationship with the mercenary? No, I think we're fine.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
We're done.
Advanced race theory.
No, it's advanced race theory.
Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
Let's go talk to Measurehead. Did we gain a level? We did! Well, let's get another one. And another. We wanted motorway south, right? I think that's what people wanted. Time for some advanced race theory. Oh boy, I can't wait. Car. Yeah. Remember, at 9 o'clock we need to talk to Smoking Man. What could go wrong? Exactly. Maybe he'll chuck us off the bridge, not the bridge, but the wall.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degraded.
But you're all part of the union.
The Hardy Manlets are
Hardy
on the pay of
Manlets.
the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Simonies. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
I think I know what the race enigma is.
And
it's shit. I wanted to get into the harbor. Paradoxically, you plan to supersede the Occidentals with their own race theory. This race shift is what rich people want us to do while they get all the money. It's something you shock people with. Liberal... It's just something you shock people with. Liberal and progressive people. It's whatever you want it to be. It's a free association language exercise, degenerate race hero. I don't know about the rest, but it's clear I should stop drinking the ancient Lillimaran mind poison Al Ghul. This dump is ready to be superseded by the Agriopagite superstate. I can serve as a clerk in your administration. Maybe you need a cop. Oh, it's Illimaran? No, it's Lillimaran. Seven. Oh, I have to press 6.
the Revacholian degenerate shows signs of racial self-reflection. How did you accomplish this little feat?
I sobered up for 5 minutes. I imagine the picnic face of the desert pygmy laughing at me, crooked teeth grinning. I imagine a woman laughing at me beneath her pity, terrible and beautiful. It's always been 100% clear to me that the answer to the race enigma is I should stop drinking. No, he was not okay with it at all. One.
So it would seem, Ralph. On one hand, this pathetic self-therapy has little to do with the great mystery of living organisms, the race enigma. And, of course, you will not be able to free yourself from the yoke of rule. It is too late. It may be lethal to stop at this point, but still.
Your willpower fires up, directing you to speak.
If the Revacholian degenerate is capable of critical thought, he may prove a race adversary yet. Was I mistaken to share the esoteric science with him?
Jean, baby, you did the heroic thing.
I will stop drinking. You're right, who am I kidding? Without party time, gray reality is devoid of reason. Is it time for Sober Cop?
That is not possible. The game of Shahmat you play against the rule streaks is unwinnable. The days, the weeks, the months will wear you out. The Occidental haplogroup is incapable of long-term lucid thoughts.
We'll do it.
You will not. You cannot withstand the wasteland of reality.
It's super hard, Jean. My mom couldn't do it either.
We got a new level? Again? Wasteland of reality. Been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that's a sickness, and it's killing you. Huh. Maybe you can quit. 20 hours though. And how did I mess up? Following chat.
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweeper still hasn't noticed their presence. Maybe, probably, an ominous warning of bad things ahead.
Now where we want to go. All right, well, we'll go, probably wait about 15 minutes. Around 9 o'clock, we'll go and, talk to the guy.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
30 minutes.
Time passes. The sun draws ever closer.
I'm gonna go see Smokin' Man. Wasn't that a thing in X-Files? The smoking man? Or have I lost my mind? Yeah, okay. Tim's gonna be so pissed. Oh, there he is. However, we're gonna call it there for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Special thanks once again to Yashabe for supporting the channel. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.